right, we're back again with another episode of Roofer Reflections. I'm really excited to have Penny here. So, Penny, thank you for coming on the show.
It's a pleasure to be here. I'm very excited to be here.
You talked about the history of roofing in your family.
I'm in fourth generation. I'm an architect. I went to New York Tech. I've been on a roof since I was 5, and I know I'm 5 foot, 100 pounds, and I don't look like a roofer. Whenever I show up and people are like, "You don't look like a roofer. What's a roofer supposed to look like?" I'm like, my father. So my great grandfather, in the early 1900s, around 1902, helped start the Sheet Metal Workers Union in Manhattan. And then in the 40s and 50s, my grandfather became United Roofing. He was one of the biggest roofers in New York City. He did the tri-state area, everything from the 2 Twin Towers, the City Court building. They also were doing the Tin Knockers Union as well as roofing. The Tin Knockers Union and Roofers Union were one till the 40s and 50s. So that when they started the union, it was both metal, like sheet metal, and roofing. So in 1980, my dad, David Farbstein, and his best friend, Kevin McCarthy, started McFar, where the first job he ever had was Shea Stadium in New York City. It was for the Mets at the time. He worked for Fred Wilpon, the owner of the Mets, and a conglomerate called Sterling Equities. They were partners. So after he changed the seats in Shea Stadium, which a couple of the guys who did that still work for me today. Some of them are retiring, and my father will never retire. He will work with me forever. He's also my best friend. I'm lucky enough to drive him crazy every day, and then he tells me what to do. There's one story where I was about 5. My dad was doing a college, and I'm hanging on the parapet wall with my feet dangling down. And yes, it was the 80s, and I'm aging myself, but nobody cared about safety. I was just hanging there, and my father's yelling at a guy, and he's talking to him, and my dad screams, "Penny, get over here!" And I'm like, "Okay." Jump up, run over. I'm like, "What's wrong, Daddy?" And he was like, the guy was doing a pitch pocket, and it was a brand new guy, and he took the pitch pocket and he put the material underneath it and put the pitch pocket. He put the material over the pitch pocket instead of the pitch pocket being on top of the material. My father turns around and goes, "Penny, what's wrong with this detail?" And I bend down, I lift it up, I go, "This goes underneath." And my dad goes, "See? My 5-year-old daughter could figure it out. Learn." And I pretty much became a roofer after that.
And what were the challenges you were facing?
The only word I can use is hazing, And so when I built myself, understanding that almost every challenge for me became a test. How well can I handle it? How much can I learn? And how much can I teach? So even when I'm going through the hardest of the hard moments where, I've been on my knees in a roof leak and 4 inches of water looking for a hole, I try to stand back and say, what am I supposed to be learning? What am I missing here? What's the bigger picture? I can take a personal jolt, whether I'm a little girl, a woman, someone hitting on me, someone making perverse remarks, or I can take it and be like, yeah, but she couldn't get me. Or make them laugh and funny and kind of turn it around and make whatever would be thrown at me in a positive way. Or, what's wrong with him? Why would he have to speak to me like that? He just needs to laugh, and maybe I'll just kind of take those challenges and kind of make them what I can. We only can control what we can control, and we all know that. And I think the sooner I come out of myself and realize that it's not always about me, even if it feels like it is, it makes that challenge a challenge, and it makes it mine instead of somebody else's issues. They're still there. Those challenges still exist every day.
I mean, what do you tell people that are considering to make a move into the roofing industry?
Get your feet on the ground. That is the most important thing, especially in construction. I've been on a roof my entire life, but having your feet there is the most important part. Not necessarily even having to physically do it, but understanding from the ground up what it feels like, what it smells like. You cannot be in it without understanding that you have to be there.
Is there something that I did not ask you, but you wanted to share?
Do you know that one of the definitions of home is roof over your head? And yet, as a homeowner, building owner, even an apartment owner, it's the last thing you think about. And so if people can start thinking about their roofs as the most important thing, their home, that's protecting everything they love, things and people and lives, that they could understand that their roof is the most important, and then the tile and the refrigerator and the bathrooms and the kitchen, because without that roof being what it is, you don't have anything.